Welcome back here at 87.9 Sports Talk after yet another disappointing Detroit Lions season has capped off. The Lions currently sit at 5-11 as we now head into the offseason and we begin year 2 of the Darrell Bevell era, year 3 of the Bob Quinn era. It's going to be interesting to see what direction he kind of takes with this team, and we kind of have an idea of what Bob Quinn is going to do. While we take a look at the standings around the league, here is the plan basically that Bob Quinn has outlined in his recent press conference. Quinn has said that he wants to be like the old Seattle Seahawks, They had a great defense, the LOB of course, and they pounded the ball down your throat with Marshawn Lynch. He wants to become that kind of a team. And what that kind of hints to is the fact that Matthew Stafford's probably not going to be back for very long. I highly doubt he is going to return past 20 next year even. He might not even be back for 20. They might keep him around this year and then just get rid of him in 2019 because they have said that they aren't too high on the 2018 draft class. But take a look at some of the stats around the league. We're going to look at the Lions stats after the final game, and then you're going to see how some rookies are doing from around the league. But I'm going to continue talking about Bob Quinn's plan for the team, and it's basically that Matthew Stafford is probably not going to be the quarterback past next season. I highly doubt he is going to be the starting quarterback in 2019. He might not even be the starter in 2018. We'll see. But I do think that the Lions intend on going in a new direction at the quarterback position. So it'll be interesting to see where they go, and obviously this year they have a lot of options with Lamar Jackson, probably Jake Browning, Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, and then in 2019 there's Jacob Eason, there's Sam Darnold, Wilton Spate. There's a few others in that class as well that that the Lions should keep an eye on, but I definitely think that the Lions are going to find a new quarterback. However, they also want to rebuild the offensive line. That is definitely their two biggest needs right now that Bob Quinn has said is the offensive line and the secondary. And I think that the first priority should probably be secondary. This offensive line is bad, but you can kind of mask it by running some quick screens, slants, getting rid of the ball quickly. However, the secondary is just absolutely atrocious. God, it's horrible. I think this is just an awful secondary. Like any quarterback, a baby could come in and tear up the Lions through the air. That's how bad the secondary is. But here's a look at some of the rookies, as I said. Chad Kelly, 13 touchdowns, 10 picks, a solid year for the 49ers. But I'm going to continue to talk about the Lions here. Their secondary is horrible. The offensive line is also bad, but they're really, besides Martez Ivy, there's not really a top offensive line prospect in this class. So I'd say you gotta look secondary. There's a few different prospects to look at. At the top of the draft for the secondary. Hopefully can't speak. The prospect won't be a bust like Jalen Tabor is looking like right now, but we'll see how the Lions end up working things out. But the offensive line also definitely needs to be fixed. It's horrible, it's god awful, and basically every one of the starters on the offensive line except for Taylor Decker should be cut. Laken Tomlinson is a bust. He's horrible. Get rid of him. He stinks. Ted Karras, horrible. Get rid of him. He stinks. Graham Glasgow, horrible. Get rid of him. He stinks. Myles Watson, God, why did the Lions even waste their money on him? He stinks. He's horrible. Get rid of him. That is basically my thoughts on the offensive line and the secondary. Other low-key needs that the Lions have. Basically, I think the rest of the team is fine, but the offensive line and secondary are definitely glaring needs. So now, with that out of the way, let's look at how some of these rookies are doing. look at Leonard Fournette, 931 yards, 7 touchdowns for the Raiders. For the Texans, Lamar Miller had a good year, but Brock Osweiler did not. 3,242 yards, 14 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. What the hell is he doing? Good question. The Broncos, Paxton Lynch had an awful season, but Usain Bolt was decent. 53 catches, 540 yards, and 4 touchdowns on the year for Bolt. Not bad at all for him. Very good year for the former Jamaican world-class sprinter, former fastest man in the world. For the Buccaneers, Mike Williams, 58 catches, 771 yards, I believe. That might be 711, I'm not sure. He's got 6 touchdowns as well. And now, let's take a look at Juju Smith-Schuster. 52 catches, 564 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, yeah. So, that is probably going to wrap it up here for us on 87.9 Sports Talk. Be sure to tune in to the NFL draft and free agency. All that stuff, we'll be breaking it down here on 87.9 Sports Talk, your home for everything Detroit Lions football. Thank you for tuning in.